Hey guys, welcome back to the weekly Coffee and Hero show. The section right now is going to be covering the new graphic novels that arrived in this week. So I've got a nice selection here of stuff in terms of some new releases that are just out this week, some great collected editions, some nice hardcovers, some nice omnibuses. But then we've also got a few different things that have got back in stock. So what we always try to do, there are certain staples in store, graphic novel wise, that if something sells, we do our best just get it straight back in. You know, if it's like an indie series, for example, and it's, say 7 volumes and volume 1 sells, we'll always get volume 1 back in again because people are always at different speeds with reading. And we want to make sure as much as possible that we always have whatever volume you're looking for next in stock. So as I say, I'll take you through the stuff that came in this week in terms of those new releases and also the top-ups, if you will. So first one that comes up is an all ages title. This is one for younger readers. This is called The Mystery of the Meanest Teacher, and it's called a Johnny Constantine book. This is by Ryan North, who is a writer very, very good in terms of doing all ages books. The artist is Derek Charm, and it's not often you're going to see a John Constantine book that's aimed at kids. If you look at the back of these books, it'll always say like DC Kids, so they're specifically aiming for those younger readers, which is great to see because, I always say to people who come into the store, if there's a comic reader in your family who's 13 and over, no problem. We can recommend nearly anything in store, but that 6 to 12 age range can be a little difficult sometimes. So it's just nice to have a good range of stuff, hence why we keep building up the younger readers section. So that's a new release just out this week. Next up, we have the Mighty Marvel Masterworks. Now, this is one of the first volumes of this. So what Marvel seem to be doing is going right back to the start of a lot of their top characters. So with this one, this is the Amazing Spider-Man one. Now, this is going to contain, I believe, Amazing Fantasy 15 and the first 10 issues of Amazing Spider-Man. So, of course, Spider-Man issues, Amazing stuff specifically is, for high-end collectors these days. They're very, very expensive to get your hands on. Even some of the omnibus can be quite difficult to get and go out of print relatively quickly. So this seems like a much nicer, more affordable option for it. They are done in these slightly smaller volumes, so again, it can appeal to younger readers as well as older ones. But I believe they're going to be doing Fantastic Four from the start. They're going to be doing Avengers from the start. And again, if you're looking at saying where it all began with Spidey, you've got the first appearance of Amazing Fantasy 15 here, but then you've also got all the first 10 issues contained in that as well. Next up, we have Erratic from Carrie Andrews and Brian Riber. This is the latest AWA graphic novel collection. This was a 5-issue mini-series. It was all about a young teenage superhero who had amazing powers but could only use them for 10 minutes at a time. You may have noticed me talk about this before. I'm a big fan of this title. Really, really enjoyed it. Again, great all ages. Got a real Spider-Man-y type vibe to it as well. Some good sci-fi in there as well. But really, really good. And again, it's another one of those great ones that AWA do at that that £9 price point for a new release. In terms of a top-up, this is one every time we get it in, it always just goes straight back out. So this is the start of the Matt Fraction and David Aja Hawkeye series. This is volume 1, My Life as a Weapon. 4 volumes in total to this series, and one of the best things you'll ever read. A lot of this seems to be being utilized for the upcoming Hawkeye TV show. Certainly in terms of bringing Kate Bishop in, that kind of thing. But this is one that I get the feeling over the next few months a lot of people are going to be turning to as the hype builds for the TV show. Another top-up we have is Flashpoint, which was an excellent DC event. This was written by Jeff Johns, art by Andy Kubert. I may have the absolute of this at home, because of course I do. But yeah, Flashpoint was essentially an event that bled the original DC continuity into the New 52. So this was what changed it all. It's a story all about Barry going back in time to save his mother, but then in doing so, things change. They did adapt some of this for the Flash TV show, but they didn't go quite as literally as they do in this. But, this brings in the Thomas Wayne Flashpoint Batman, for example. Just a really brilliant event that you could read it as a one-shot or as a bit of a segue into the New 52 stuff. Next up, another restock, we have God Country. So this is the team that's currently working on crossover. So you have Donny Cates on writing duties and Jeff Shaw on art. And this is an absolutely outstanding 6-issue mini-series. Can't recommend this enough. I mean, it's even described on the back as an epic Texan battle fantasy. What more do you need? Arguably Donny Cates' best work, that, if you ask me. Next up, we have the next volume of Al Ewing's Immortal Hulk series. Al Ewing and Joe Bennett on art. So we're up to volume 9, I believe. Yes, indeed. We're up to volume 9. So I think this is going to go up to at least 11, maybe 12 volumes when you start factoring in all of the one-shots that have been coming out as well. This one covers issues 41 to 45. I don't think the next volume would be the last one because of those one-shots, as I say, Immortal Hulk, Time of Monsters, for example. So unless they do those as a separate graphic novel, but we're starting to approach the very, very end of what has been an absolutely excellent run. Easily one of the most requested titles for this week. We got plenty of copies in. So we have volume 3 of Something is Killing the Children, a title that, again, we recommend all the time, whether it's for new readers wanting to get into graphics, whether it's trying to find jumping on points for single issue collectors. But I can't recommend Something is Killing the Children enough. If you haven't given it a go just yet, we do still have some of the 8th prints in stock. The 8th prints were being sold at silly prices online when they first came out. It's a really, really nice cover of Erica Slaughter, but we've got them at cover price in store. So if you want to give it a go and you don't want to quite commit to a graphic just yet, we can sort you out with the first issue. But volume 3 this week, so that's issues 11 to 15. Next up, we have a little bit of a sleeper hit for an Image series, which is a title called Thumbs. So this is written by Sean Lewis and art by Hayden Sherman. The idea behind this one is essentially the US military in the future utilizing professional gamers as soldiers. And what they mean by that is they will have people with quick reactions, people who are used to controlling machines and killing through the medium of television, shall we say. They will have them essentially autopiloting bots or, you know, robots, that kind of thing, and carrying out missions for them. But of course, this is real life. This is not a game. Really, really good series. So it was, you know, it was just, no one was really on it though in terms of single issues. But I collected all the singles myself because, of course, I did. Really enjoyed it, and now it's had a nice big thick graphic novel collection. Next up is another top up. So we've been getting this in, and it's been selling out, getting it in, selling it out. This is the first volume of the Marvel Warhammer series. So this is written by Kieran Gillen and art by Jason Burrows. Violent, over the top, great origin stuff. This very much for older readers, but even for a Warhammer noob like myself, this was really enjoyable and a really nice look into the 40k world. Next up, we have a nice hardcover. This is Batman by John Ridley. So John Ridley, of course, is the Oscar-winning screenwriter, 12 Years a Slave. He came in to do the Future State, the next Batman stuff. That's what this is collecting all of. But I believe there's also material in here from Detective Comics he's worked on, Batman Black and White, and also Batman Joker Warzone. So this is very much going down the Fox family era of the next Batman. And some really good stuff in this, some good artists as well involved with this. Laura Braga, Olivier Coupel, Nick Darrington, and Dustin Wayne as well. So I'm a big fan of that. And even though I have all the single issues, I think a wee hardcover might just have to come home. Next up, we have Sweet Tooth. So this is the complete compendium of all of Sweet Tooth. So issues 1 to 40. This is the complete series. Just dropped last week on Netflix. I believe it was trending #1 on Netflix. It seems to be getting really good notices. Haven't quite indulged myself. Vicky and I are determined to finish off Jessica Jones. Although episode 2 of series 3 is almost putting me off it because it was terrible. But issue 1 was great. So hopefully we'll go back to issue 1 level. But anyway, Sweet Tooth. So yeah, this is the award-winning Jeff Lemire series. And again, this is another one I've never read myself, but again, heard great stuff about. And again, a little compendium is on its way to the Allen household, of course. Down to the last couple here now. So we have the next hardcover collection of Tales from the Dark Multiverse. So there's already a hardcover available of the first rake of Tales from the Multiverse titles. This one contains Batman Hush, Flashpoint, Wonder Woman War of the Gods, Crisis on Infinite Earths, and Dark Knight's Metal. Dark Knight's Metal was fantastic. It very much followed Dick Grayson, and the Batman Hush one was superb as well. So well worth checking that out if you enjoy the Tales from the Dark Multiverse stuff, which in a sense is a little bit like the old Elseworlds line from DC. Another one that was slightly confusing, this was actually 2 100-page giants called Generations. They were called Generations Forged and Generations Shattered. And this was this is the collected edition, which is a DC Generations. So this involves talents such as Dan Jurgens, Andy Schmidt, Robert Venditti. You know, you've got art from Ivan Rice, Brian Hitch, Yannick Paquette, John Romita Jr., you know, Paul Pelletier, and far more. And this basically pulled together heroes from loads of different generations of DC history, going right back to 1930s, 40s Batman, for example. You also have Booster Gold in there. You have Green Lantern, Sinestro. You have Starfire, Superman. It was a really good rollicking adventure. It just seemed a bit out of place at the time in terms of DC continuity, but as a one-off graphic novel to enjoy, it's a really good story. Next up, we have one of the longest, most anticipated titles for a long time. So this is Batman Earth 1. This is Volume 3. So again, this is the Doomsday Clock team, otherwise known as the Geiger team, otherwise known as the Batman Earth 1 team. So this is Jeff Johns, Gary Frank. This is the third volume of the Earth 1 Batman, which has a slightly different tinge to the normal Batman stuff. And this one is going to continue on the story that Volume 2 laid out regarding Harvey Dent. The tagline for this one is Harvey Dent is dead, or is he? Really looking forward to that myself. That's been a long time waiting on that. Another couple of top-ups here. So we have Die Volume 2. This is Split the Party. So again, Die's another series we try to have in stock at all times. Just a fantastic story. It's going to go 4 volumes in total. The first 3 are available now, so we're entering the end game with that. Couple to finish off, we have Black Science Volume 1, another one of my favorite series. This is from Rick Remender and Matteo Scalera. Brilliant time traveling, alternate dimension, hard science fiction title with some of the best art you will ever see. Again, not enough people are reading this for my liking. I recommend it left, right and center. Someone took me up on my recommendation last week, hence needing the Volume 1 back in. But I really, really dig this series. Such imagination, and again, I can't recommend the art enough. And 2 more just to finish off with. We have the latest volume of Black Cat coming in. So Black Cat's not something I read, but I do know a couple of guys in store who swear by Black Cat and how good it is. You've Jed McKay on writing duties, CF Villa on art, and this seems to be linked a lot to the Keenan Black storyline, so there were some tie-ins for that series. So again, heard great things, but can't recommend it personally. And then one last one to come in, which I can't resist a little dig at Diamond on a weekly basis. So Robert Kirkman did a series called Battle Pope. He worked on it with Tony Moore, with Corey Walker, who were his original artists on Walking Dead and Invincible. And I ordered the first 3 volumes. So of course, Volume 3 arrives this week, but we're waiting on Volume 1 and 2. Classic Diamond. So this contains the end of Battle Pope, which was issues 9 to 11, and some supplementary material as well. But yeah, hopefully we'll have volumes 1 and 2 in the next couple of weeks. So that is pretty much a lot of the new stuff that came in this week. As ever, all available in store. You can always drop us a line if anything appeals to you, you're worried about it selling out and not getting down on time. Just drop us a message and we can get you sorted with that. So some great stuff to look forward to, all going on sale this new comic book day. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you found it useful as ever. And I hope you're staying safe out there. Take it easy.